Warning! Black Fairy. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Once Upon a Time, Season 6, Episode 19, The Black Fairy. I'm your host, Dom. With me, we have Jake, Nikki, and Rachel.
I just want to say one quick thing, that the title card for this episode revealed far too much about the Black Fairy.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Because as soon as that title card popped up, I was like, that is Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Yep.
Yep. So, what'd you guys think of this episode?
Oh my gosh! All
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah.
All of the things that happened, and I am just
On a it's kind of was almost like a emotional roller coaster hijack. It's like I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
I was prepared for a certain thing that happened at the end that we'll talk about, and it pisses me off in a good way. But other things happened that are just a highlight of this entire show for me in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a really, really good episode. I think this is the epitome of take the villain from the whole thing and twist it around and make him out to be the good guy. You know, like...
Oh, she's not a good guy.
You know what I mean? Like, her actions
tragic
are justified and kind of redeem her in a way, because the whole time she's looking out for her son. You know, like...
What they do is they turn around and humanize her, make you have feelings for her.
Well, they always do that.
Yeah, they always do. Always
We're
do.
My
due-
feelings haven't
due for
changed
one.
about her. I
I
still don't like her.
No, but you understand that she's not evil, really. Like...
Well, the reason why I don't like her is because I didn't believe she was evil. Like, she's not convincing me that she's evil.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, and we also found out that Malcolm did meet her when he was still looked the same, but he was a little cleaned up.
He was decent looking, actually.
Yeah, he was.
He doesn't clean up too bad. But,
Yeah, but then he got drunk.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me is this episode revealed that Rumpel is not, in fact, part fairy.
Yep.
Right?
I know,
Which we've
No,
been
he's
under the assumption
human
this
boy.
whole time, because he's like, yeah, the Black Fairy's my mother, so we're all sitting here going, well, that makes Rumpel part fairy. And it
Yeah,
was,
that
we were
also...
like,
It
yeah.
also clears up our questions about, do fairies give birth? Are they allowed to have kids? You know, that
I mean, no,
answers our
that didn't
question.
clear that up. That didn't clear it up, it just left us
we know how
wondering even
fairies
more.
are born.
Yeah.
We know how fairies are born, and it's not that way.
Well,
No,
we-
it's not that, because even Tiger Lily was like, that shouldn't have happened, kind of thing, when she turned herself into a fairy. She's like, that shouldn't have happened. She was just like, holy shit, that's impossible. How the hell?
And that also, like, I don't understand how she got so like, even with the access to the ancient fairy or the sacred fairy vault, how did she get so friggin' powerful to make herself a fairy in the first place?
She read books.
She read a lot, and she stole the wand, and she used the wand. Like, fairy magic is the most powerful magic.
She used Tiger
I thought
Lily's-
true love was the most powerful magic.
Well,
Yeah.
they're saying now that fairy magic is, so I don't know. It's a toss up between the two. We don't know which one is actually more powerful.
No, I just didn't think like a human could cast that big of a spell even with a wand and fairy magic. Like, it just seemed like one of those story like those story conveniences that they threw in there. That's how I feel.
Well, she's been reading obviously a lot, because Tiger Lily's been bringing her books, and she's been reading a lot. Like she said, she goes, "You know more about fairies than the fairies do."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of
she probably stumbled onto some what looks like dark magic.
there's a lot of hashtag shady blue going on in chat right now. I'm seeing 3-4
I
people.
could read a lot of science books, but that doesn't make me a scientist. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it doesn't matter how much she read.
Well, she read how to cast a spell.
If you know, she knew how to cast the spell. She knew how to do things.
Yeah.
So,
Well, humans can teach themselves magic.
Yes.
But I don't think a human can change them not being human.
Correct. That's what the fairy magic did.
Just like what Tiger said, this shouldn't happen. This can't be, kind of thing. She is just as shocked.
Yeah. Like,
that happened.
No one thought it was possible, but with the combination of the spell and the fairy wand, she was able to do it. So, but we did get to see Tiger Lily as Rumple's fairy godmother.
I had a feeling that Tiger Lily was his fairy godmother. I don't know why. I just had a feeling.
I don't know, because I think we were mentioning maybe Blue at one point. I think that was thrown around, but...
that was cleared up. We talked about it last episode, and it was cleared up. It was something that I was like, was it Blue?
No, I know. I'm saying that was one of our older hypotheses. That Blue was
Well, I don't know. Rumple just always hated Blue. So, like, we just assumed there was history there, and I just never assumed that Blue was his fairy godmother, just because, I mean, it just seems fucking unlikely. Because Blue, I don't think she's a fairy godmother. I mean, I think she was at one point, but I don't think she fairy godmothers anymore.
She's like the fairy godmother of the fairy godmothers. That's the way I look at
fairies,
Blue.
yeah.
Like, she's all of their mothers. But
we got that kind of feeling from when we had the Tinkerbell episode. She was running the show at that point.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, this is way before
Nova,
that, too. Like,
and as much as people say Shady Blue, if she is the high fairy, she has a lot of shit she has to control, and, you know, you're not always going to do the right thing. That everyone's
you kind of have to be stern and mean when you have a really high power seat like that.
And you're not going to make everyone happy. You have to do what is best. And in this one, it never showed anything she did was out of malice. Everything she did was to help, and just Fiona went crazy.
Yeah. Tiger Lily reveals that Rumpelstiltskin is the child known as the Savior. Big bombshell dropped on us that Rumple was the original Savior.
This doesn't fascinate me in the slightest, nor did it blow my mind. Like, I think that the writers were hoping it would.
See, I was shocked.
It got me.
I was shocked because I would have never, ever have guessed that. Because
I would have never have guessed it either, but it didn't shock me. It just, this felt like this was shock value for the sake of shock value. Not that they were going to go anywhere with it.
Yeah, I don't know. It really got me because, like, the way they tied it all in, right? And it was, given with the Book of Prophecies, and then a great evil is coming for Rumple, and the great evil is born on the same winter that Rumple is, and, like, all the way it was worded, and, you see Fiona and Tiger Lily flying around to all the babies that were born that winter, and they're checking everyone. They go to the last baby that was born, and... no crescent-shaped birthmark or scar or whatever, Fiona's coming up with like this big plan on how to save Rumple, and she convinces Tiger Lily to go to the Sacred Fairy Vault, and she wants to combine two ancient spells to make a brand new spell, which is forbidden, but still kind of talks Tiger Lily into it until she realizes that she's actually creating a curse, which is what we know of as the Dark Curse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Fiona was so wrapped up in this whole prophecy about her baby dying. She was freaking out as a mom. She was freaking out trying to figure out. So she wasn't thinking logically. And this is what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all irrational, and in the end, all her choices made her the one that was going to be the wrongdoing to her son.
Yeah. I mean, with the way this prophecy is working here, it's kind of like my favorite form of time travel, that whatever happened, happened. So with the prophecy is going to come true no matter what. So you can't change it. By trying to change it, you're only actually causing it to happen. So you could say if she didn't read the prophecy, that this never would have happened because she wouldn't have known, right? And that's true. But the way it's always supposed to have been happened was the prophecy was created. She read the prophecy, freaked out over it, and did everything in her power to save her son. And in doing so, she created the dark curse. She became the black fairy or the dark fairy.
She became what she was fearing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she made herself evil. So yes, evil was born that winter. Just as prophesized.
I see in chat a lot of being like, Fiona's fine, she was protecting Rumple. And then, you see the other side being like, no, she chose power over love. And which was the most ironic thing because even Rumple said during the episode, wow, I followed in your footsteps. Like, I chose power over love. So
she couldn't let the power go.
Yeah.
Just like him.
And we all rag on Rumple, but Fiona did exactly what he did. So why aren't you ragging on her?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Is it because she is the mom and not the dad? Is there supposed to be some more connection with your child that way?
To be fair, not everybody is. Not everybody
No,
is.
but it is split down the middle basically in chat right now. But I'm arguing both points. She's like Rumple, and we've been on Rumple's butt this whole time we've been doing these podcasts. And then there's you.
Wait, not we. Not
and
we.
then
you three.
Can I finish?
You three.
And then you are different. You are the one that stands out where you're like, well, Rumple did this out of justification. He had his reasons, and they're good reasons for him, even though it doesn't work out for other people.
Yeah.
It's the same way with Fiona, with the Black Fairy. So you can't argue either fact that both this was right or this was wrong. Those characters are meant to have this controversial down the middle split so that we have this debate back and forth.
That's exactly how they're written. These characters are written because they want you to love them and they want you to hate them and they want you to love to hate them and they want you to hate to love them. They want all that, and the writers actually have achieved that very well because these are characters like this. Rumple is probably the most debated character when it comes down to do you like him or do you hate him. There's some people you can go to I love or hate, Snow White, Prince Charming, Jake absolutely loves them. I absolutely hate them.
Wait, where the fuck did you get that from?
No, he hates
just in general. I thought you liked them. I could have sworn that was something.
I love David. I love David.
Yeah, this is something we talked about a while ago.
I hate Mary Margaret. I love Snow White.
That's what I said. I didn't say Mary. I said Snow.
Well, Snow is okay. I think you meant Mary Margaret though, because Snow White
is the charming
stuff. Okay. Well, I like David because I think he's a better character than Snow, but Snow has become Mary Margaret, and I hate Mary Margaret.
Yeah. So it's just you have very defined love hates for certain characters, but Rumple's a character that you feel one way about, and it changes as it goes. It's a journey. A lot of people loved Rumple when he first came out. He and I'm the opposite. I hated Rumple when he was in the first season. Going back now with my knowledge of Rumple and everything, I can enjoy it. But at the time when I was first watching the show, I hated Rumple because it was literally he's in fucking everything. He's everywhere. It was annoying the hell out of me because every time you turn around, there was Rumple. But as we spent some time with him, and you got to see up to it was probably about season 2, and somewhere around season 2, it just it totally changed for me. And I was like, Rumple's probably my favorite character on this show, and I've stuck with that through. But it's usually the other way around for a lot of people that I found. Most people, they love Rumple from the start. And all his quirks, his quirkiness and everything. And as it's gone on now, they've grown to hate him for his actions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's weird how, but that just means it's an actual fantastic job of the writing team for a character like Rumple.
Well, I hate both of them.
Point proven.
I never loved Rumple.
See,
I don't know. He was just an annoying little shit to me from the beginning of this show. The Black Fairy, again, I don't find her intimidating. I don't find her evil. I mean, you can say you could say she was the birth of evil. I am not buying that shit.
She's like she says, I am the one that started all the darkness. It's
No.
I don't care.
Honey, sit down. I want to, and some people argue this other point with me, and don't, bitch, you better don't. So let me give you this. Put Fiona next to Maleficent. If I told you one of them was the incarnate of evil, which one would you say it was?
Maleficent.
Exactly.
She looks the part. She sounds the part.
It depends on the context that you're asking me. If you're asking me in the context of the show and you put them next to each other, I would say the Black Fairy. If you're asking me based on Maleficent's history with Disney and the Snow White franchise, I would say Maleficent. So it depends on the context.
I think the question was like at first glance, if you saw those characters standing beside each other, who would you say is more evil?
Without having any knowledge of either one
Well,
of them?
Just looking at them.
That's good too, but I wasn't really alluding to that. I was just saying, I mean, even in the context of this show, personally, I don't like the Black Fairy in this show. I don't think she was cast correctly, because she's doing this sort of innocent childlike approach to her evilness, and this actor is not pulling it off. Now, this could have worked with a different actress, but if you took that characteristic away and you just put Maleficent in that spot, it would fit.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Just drop the Black Fairy altogether and put Maleficent in that role.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree. They went off in a different direction with her and gave her a daughter and all that. They could have done exactly what they did with her, except we find out that it was Rumple the whole time. You know, that Rumple was the dragon egg, and whatever. Like that could have been something that they did sometime, and then the magical spell was put on him that took him from being a dragon, and like they could have gone that route. Like we could have done that.
Yeah,
they didn't.
They could have done a lot of things because the writers for Once Upon a Time, they've thrown so many curveballs over the last 6 seasons.
And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the concept of the Black Fairy. I really, really do.
Yeah, it's
but like Jake
problem,
said, the casting was just off.
Well, the problem here is the story they set up with Maleficent, right? If they never
we had a theory that Maleficent was the Black Fairy. That was our theory since we heard the Black Fairy's name in the show.
Well, Maleficent is the Black Fairy in Sleeping Beauty.
So we just assumed that was the case here.
Right. So by painting this whole like other persona with her and making the dragon and the baby and all that, they kind of like backed themselves into a corner with that they could not use her as the Black Fairy for this particular story. So by separating them and creating another character kind of gave them a little more freedom, same way that they did Elsa and the Snow Queen. They separated them into 2 characters. Mm-hmm. So, it gave us a little more substance here. I didn't mind the actress who played the Black Fairy. I know her from Warehouse 13 as H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells.
She's fantastic on that. Yeah, she's fantastic there. I think she did H.G. Wells better than her portrayal of the Black Fairy, but I still liked her as the Black Fairy. I still like her. I shouldn't use the past because she's still there. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
I don't know. Like if you were to say, you go to me and say, well, Rumple he chose power over love, and Fiona chose power over love. I'm still gonna say I like Rumple better because Rumple can disconnect the destiny and the fate of his son. Unlike Fiona. Fiona's like, well, this gives me power, click, and she makes him a little whiny baby like everybody else.
Yeah, because she totally had the option here, right? And then we're here with the shears of fate again, right? Because we were going, oh boy, here they are again, like a couple episodes ago. But
the fates are just leaving these things around everywhere. They don't take care of their shit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they don't.
Exactly. So like she had the choice here to cut her own fate and stop herself from killing her son and let her son be the savior like he's supposed to be. But she chose to keep her power and cut his fate and stop him from being the savior.
So some Rumple would have, well, he tried to do.
Mm. Yeah.
Because he was trying to do that with Gideon. But yeah, I think her cutting his fate sent him down this road to become the Dark One.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
and she used the whole logic of, I did this so we could be a family, and it was easier for you to hate me. And Rumpel was like, look, I did the same thing to Balefire.
She didn't do it. Okay, she didn't say it, but she really meant, I did it for his best chance.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Jake's prediction.
They've been using
Jake's
that.
prediction was pretty accurate, though.
What?
She didn't use that line. though.
Didn't
No,
use
she
it,
didn't
but
use
it's
that line, but-
still that reason.
It's implied.
If I was Rumpel, I would have told her, really, bitch, you left me with a father who blamed me for you leaving.
That scene made me so freaking angry.
You've left me with a father that blamed me every single day for you leaving. I grew up not being loved, not being taken care of. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. He named his child Rumpelstiltskin to spite him.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and he
like,
was just
you're a constant reminder of me losing my wife, and it explains a lot now. It explains a lot for the way that Rumpel was raised.
Well, what's funny is that he automatically thought she was dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Blue
They
and
said
Tiger Lily
she was
didn't.
gone.
She said, yeah, they didn't elaborate. They just said she was gone. So automatically, most people would go to, well, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Especially back then, or in that situation, that area, that the story.
Everything could have killed you.
Exactly.
And what's so sad is that when he was saying this to the baby, they were back there. They knew that he was not going to grow up being loved. He knew he was going to be grown up and they knew, and there was nothing they could have done about it.
Which makes me think, why didn't
they could
Rumpel
have.
keep his fairy godmother?
Yeah, why didn't Tiger Lily stay?
Because she felt bad, and so she like she said,
Why would-
and when she turned into the Blackberry, she felt it was her fault. So she
gave up her wings.
There are
That
other.
Blue should have taken over. And
She went
made
to
sure
Neverland right after that. So
Yeah, all these fairies going to Neverland. That's why fairies are in Neverland, because they're just the emo fairies.
One
I
of
think-
the fairies should have stayed to make sure he was gonna be okay.
There
Instead
are
of
other
being
fairies.
really- Exactly,
There's
there are
a
other
bunch
fairies
of other
too.
fairies, and fairy godmothers are assigned to a child. Just assign another one to him.
we don't know, but yeah.
Cinderella, after going through all that shit, her fairy godmother finally came. Why? So
I'm thinking that
Rumpel could have been a Cinderella.
I'm thinking that there may have been something tied to the fact that he has no fate anymore. Like the fate, his destiny has been cut. That maybe the fairies
think
can't do anything.
It's certain. I think only certain kids get fairy godmothers, and he was getting one because he was the savior.
Yeah, and now that he's no longer the savior.
No longer the savior.
Yep.
I think that is a
Emma didn't
bullshit
get
rule.
one. Emma didn't get one. Aladdin didn't get one.
Yeah.
Gideon got one.
Aladdin was in the world of the Enchanted, like he's in the same kind of realm as the Enchanted Forest. You just have to take a boat. He could have got a fairy godmother easily. Emma, on the other hand, yeah, she was in our world. Well, not our. Well, yes,
Our world.
kind of our
Our
world, our plane. So, yeah.
Yeah. So.
There are fairies everywhere. There are fairies in Wonderland. Okay, they're not in short supply.
But then again, we don't know if Aladdin had a fairy godmother, anyways. So we never really.
we don't know that.
I think she would take him out of the sticky situation that he was in. He was stealing moldy apples all his life.
But yeah, it's just you
But,
can't say it's wrong for one person and say it's okay for another person to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, so that was all pretty much the past, and then in present day, they're trying to wake Blue up. Right? Rumpel's got this rotten dragon egg that never hatched that he uses to wake her up. That's the magical equivalent of smelling salt, I guess.
I guess.
Okay.
Nasty shit.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going, okay, well, at least we know that this isn't Lily, because that would be a really, really bad storyline to have resolved
Well,
at this point, to find out that the
Lily-
missing egg that went through the portal ends up being this one. Like,
Well,
No.
Lily hatched.
yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm saying I'm glad that story was kind of resolved. Like, not really, but they met up, is my point. So we know it's not Lily's egg. So I'm saying if Lily never showed up on the show, and we just did the charming sending an egg through the portal, we would have just assumed that was that egg. So luckily that's not the case. So Blue reveals that the wand is at the center of Storybrooke.
The heart.
Yeah.
The heart of.
They just assumed that heart meant center.
That's center.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the center.
Yeah. So they go to the clock tower, but not before we find out that the Black Fairy and Gideon are posing as Mary Margaret, Snow White, and Prince Charming. So I was like,
y'all do need a safe word.
Yeah.
After what happened with Cora, y'all need a safe word.
But then, Rumple does trick Gideon and slaps
the magic cuff on him, yeah.
Fucking Baby Mo is finally on timeout.
Yeah, he's like, you ain't going anywhere, boy. You're in trouble.
Yep. So
you're grounded.
They find out that the heart is not at the literal center of Storybrooke, which is in fact the clock tower, but the heart, which is Granny's, and
because of course, the fucking grannies. I hate grannies now. I hate grannies. All the shit goes down there.
She was so mad though. She was just like, "What are you doing?
I have a breakfast rush, you dickholes."
Regina's back there looking through stuff. She's like, "We have to find this." She's just like, "Oh my god, you guys are pissing me off.
It's in the register. Just take it."
What was
She's
funny
like,
was it was only like Regina and someone else looking, and then Snow and David walk in, and she's like, "Oh, thank God you're here," and then they start ripping and tearing, and Granny's just like, "What the hell?"
Granny,
she was about ready to go get her shotgun.
She was.
She was like,
it's under the desk. But Granny,
it was a crossbow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She might have a shotgun now.
I think she does have a shotgun. I think she upgraded.
But Granny, you make so much bank at that place because everybody goes there. You can afford. What you should do. You should upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have gold running every little bit, and she has to pay like every penny out of her pocket anymore.
All the parties go on here.
The bed and breakfast now.
Oh yeah, the one that nobody goes to.
The one that no one goes to anymore.
Well,
sell the damn thing. Sell the damn bed and breakfast.
Yeah, but the wand ends up being under the jukebox, and it ends up being a lot bigger than I thought it was. So, unfortunately, Alex
put it under there.
Unfortunately, Alex and my theory of it being a piece of the wand turned out to be incorrect, or the author pen, turned out to be incorrect. I think Jake is happy about that because Jake was like, "This feels like Excalibur and the Dark Dagger all over again." But
yeah, because the pen was a sorcerer's thing, and the wand is a fairy thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We did mention when we first saw the piece from Tiger Lily when Hook got it from her that was a huge piece of the wand.
Yeah,
it looked like just a driftwood. So
it was like this big. So like the wand had to be at least a foot big. Like just like you have to like double hand it. Like it's a two-handed wand.
It looked like a thorn. It was like a thorn.
Maybe it is a thorn.
Maybe.
That's what it kind of looked like.
Mm.
Yeah. And we get a little side plot with Zelina kind of adjusting to magic.
Zelina,
no magic.
Trying to put an IKEA crib together without
There's an IKEA here?
Apparently.
Maybe they just got it delivered at the town line.
Yeah, it was shipped to the town line.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scene with Regina and Zelina learning how to drive. And
I was
like,
hilarious.
That's pretty good, but like the reasoning for having her learn to drive was great. Like she wanted Regina wanted her to take Henry back to New York City to be safe.
Because that always works. I mean, this is a thing that we do with Henry now.
And I absolutely loved when she goes, "So you trust me to raise Henry?" And she goes, "No, I trust Henry to raise you."
It was great though that Zelina. Yeah, Zelina had a grin on her face. She enjoyed the poke at her, which we haven't really seen. Like that was a nice moment between Regina and Zelina.
It was a nice sisterly moment.
They have nice moments when the writers remember that they're sisters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it was great. And then we have the battle with Fiona and Regina that spills out into the streets.
The battle.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes Zelina with the car and just rammed her.
I laughed so hard.
Oh my god, I did too. I just burst out laughing.
And this was the moment I was talking about. This is my favorite moment in all of the show. And by one of my favorite characters in this show. I know some people hate Zelina. I absolutely love Zelina, and it is for this reason. Yes, Zelina, bitch. The Blackberry didn't even fall gracefully. It was just like ding dong.
She flew, and then she rolled a little bit when she hit the ground.
Yeah.
And when she got up, she had that look on her face like, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know what this thing is. Oh, okay, Zelina, you are awesome. And see, this is why we don't have our showdowns in the street, you guys. Like, This was going to happen. You can't keep doing this. Things like this are going to happen. Hey, Archie, do you want to play in the traffic? Can you do that, please?
Yeah, so
You
it was just
dog
like
down the middle of the street. What the hell? Sorry.
I know, right?
and Zelina's comment of like it's really easy to hit things when you're trying. Like I was like, Zelina, you're so precious right now.
Well, anything's gonna get hit if you hit it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she meant like it's easier to hit things when you're trying as opposed to drive and accidentally hit things, So
It's easier to drive when you have motivation to get somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what she meant.
It was just showing that no matter what, Zelina, magic or not, she's still useful. That's basically what that scene gave us. And
honestly, if you were trying to get her to learn to drive, to get out, to help, get your son out, blah, blah, why did you start her off on a stick?
I don't know.
Because once you learn how to drive in standard,
but still, she could learn that later on. If you're trying, this showdown is supposed to be happening in a couple days. You only have a couple days.
See, my dad did the same thing with me when I was trying to learn how to drive. He's like, you need to learn on standard first, because once you learn standard, you can drive pretty much anything after that.
Yep.
That's
how my entire family was taught. We were all taught on stick shift first, and then you learn normal, because once you can drive stick, you can drive normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a wand.
Yep.
I tried to
swish and flick.
No, that happened. But I just love her. I've heard it before from other people too. The gas and the brake, but they're so close together.
Yeah, I always got in trouble for using 2 feet instead of just one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you'll blow out the transmission. But with the Rumple, like, looking for ways to get information from Gideon, Gideon's resisting because, he's still under the effects of the Black Fairy. He really just wants to get his heart back before Fiona's defeated in the battle. So we bust out the Sands of Morpheus again. And Rumple puts Gideon there and then proceeds to take Emma with him.
Well, that's the best thing he can do, because he didn't want her off, going after the Dark Fairy without.
Yeah, because that was her plan. She was going to go whether he liked it or not.
Yep. So
I'm kind of glad that she was there, because if he would have went by himself and found, I don't think he would have found what he was looking for.
Well, having the savior and the should-be savior together, like, for that whole
and
reveal,
potentially another savior,
right? Yeah. For like the big reveal was great. It ended up working out awesome. And we find out that Fiona never even gave Rumple a name. Like, Rumple's got all this hatred toward her for, all these things. And we go back and we see, it ends up not being Gideon's dream like originally thought. It's Rumple's dream. Rumple's told, the Black Fairy is scared of the reason why he gave you up. And I'm sitting here going, up to this point, I'm like, whatever the reason is, it's not going to be anything interesting. Like, there's no way it's going to be interesting. And then it was. And I was actually completely blown away, because I thought they were going to mess it up. I really did. That's why I went in, I think, with such a big shock. Because I went in expecting to be disappointed. and I wasn't.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I was shocked too, because I thought it was going to be some stupid reason, and then like, I just wanted to give him his best chance. Nothing other than that. That would have been so disappointing because I've used it so many times, but then they put that twist in that, oh, he's the savior. It's like, excuse me, what? He's the dark one. He's been the dark one forever and ever. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think her clipping, basically clip it, made him the dark one. More susceptible to becoming the dark one. What he would have been like if she would have clipped him, we don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe he would have been in that fantasy one that we had where he was on the white. Oh God, that was horrible.
Oh no, that was terrible. I don't ever want that.
Wasn't part of the prophecy being like he's going to be the savior, but his demise is going to happen whether you like it or not, as the savior, and that's another reason why she clipped him, because if he's not going to be the savior, he's not going to die.
No, it was just the demise was going to come from the person with the
crescent,
moon, scar, or whatever.
Who wrote that?
And that happened when she Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
No, when Tiger Lily wandered her to put down the whatever it was, that's when that happened.
I thought it was when she ripped out Tiger Lily's heart.
No, because it was when she got the crescent. It was from Tiger Lily's magic, I think.
No. It was definitely the point where she made the choice to start crushing Tiger Lily's heart. That's when the darkness sunk in, and that's when the crescent appeared. That's when she noticed it, because she was holding the heart like this.
Well, that's when we noticed it, but we don't know that's when it happened.
Well, that's when it glowed. It appeared, and then she transformed into like the whole black attire at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think stealing hearts can be. We've always seen it as a bad thing, but it can sometimes be a good thing. Stealing hearts is not black magic or light magic. It's just magic.
Yeah, it was the act of trying to crush it.
What you choose to do with the heart.
Yeah,
makes it whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, she started crushing it.
But like at this moment, and it was like Rumple didn't even want to go see the whole vision to begin with, and it was Emma that actually talked him into it, and it's like, look, Rumple, we know like you are afraid of being vulnerable. People like us are afraid of being vulnerable, and you got to think of your son. And Rumple did it for his son. Like he didn't want to make the same mistakes that he made with Balefire. He wants to try to make better choices for Gideon. So Emma actually helped him here, and I think this is probably one of the few moments that Emma has not hated, or Nikki has not hated Emma.
She wasn't really innocent.
You know what? For like the first half of part A, she was I had the same feelings for her. I did not like her, and as she started feeling more of the repercussions of being the savior, and she got the shake. She started getting more background on what was going on with her. Her decisions became a little bit more, for the lack of a better word, correct in my mind. Like she started making better choices and better decisions, and she wasn't as flaky, and like she's a little bit more down to earth. It's like she's realized that she's not. I mean, she's always had that doubt that she's not high and mighty, but like she has these powers, and she's been, oh, you're the savior, you're the savior, you're the savior, and now she's. I think in the back of her mind, she was kind of like built up from it. She kind of had an ego, not to say like, oh, I'm the best, like some of the other people in this show does, like Zelina and like Regina, old Regina. But now that she feels weaker, like she feels more vulnerable, she's actually come to realize that, she's more down to earth, and she's making better decisions. Whether it's
she was humbled.
Yes.
After realizing that you may be the savior, but you are gonna die.
Yeah. And so, like the last bit of the first part of the season to throughout the rest of the season, I've actually just kind of been like neutral with Emma. Like some things will be like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" Or the other things will be like, "Wow, okay, I'm surprised." So, no, I can't say that. Yes, this part of this particular scene was actually really, really a good scene for Emma, because it not only, made her seem like a bigger person, but she helped out somebody else that has been struggling with becoming a better person all throughout this whole series.
Yeah. Yep. So when they get out of the little dream world, they have their reunion, all this stuff, and Rumple goes to talk to Fiona, and they're talking about this and how everybody expects Rumple to kill. It's like the supposed final battle, because that's what he was destined to do. He was destined to defeat. They were destined to defeat each other in the final battle, is what it came down to. But since his fate was cut, that's no longer the case. And so they're talking, and off camera, we get Gideon's heart back. And he brings it back, puts it back into Gideon, and he has a conversation with Belle and Gideon, and goes, "Look, everything I do for you, I do to keep you guys safe."
Hint, hint.
Yeah,
and then,
right.
And then we cut away, right? We come back to Rumple and Fiona, and Fiona goes, "Did they trust you?" And he goes, "Of course they did." And she goes, "Did they believe the heart was mine?" So what she said by that, I don't know. Did they put Fiona's heart?
No, when they went into Granny's, he put that black thing he put on the table. That was supposedly her heart.
Oh, yeah. That was supposed to be a heart?
That was his heart.
Her heart,
well,
black
it's
heart.
A darkened, shriveled heart. It's not going to look like the red ones that they pull out of the chest and be like, "Oh, look at this." It's going to look like an actual heart because she's supposed to be dead.
Okay. Well, apparently it wasn't her heart, because she goes, "Did they believe it was mine?" And he goes, "No one ever doubts me."
And just put it on the table.
What was it?
Rumple took out his own heart, put it on the table.
No.
No, his heart wasn't that black. That was like a hardened black
shriveled grape. It was a raisin.
Yeah, It looked like he took a lump of coal and just carved a heart out and just put it on the table,
It was a petrified raisin. But it is said that both Gideon and Belle are asleep and safe. So it looks like he may have used the sands of Morpheus and knocked them out.
Or they could have been sleeping because it wasn't night. But yeah.
Sounded like he put them under some kind of spell.
He might have put them under a sleeping spell or something.
I don't put it past him to not do
I don't.
Yeah. To keep them safe, yeah, of course.
And he said they have no idea what's to come.
Did you lock them in the house too?
He wants a happy ending for their family, and they're preparing for the final battle with Emma. So the battle is still on.
I think he's double-crossing his mama.
I don't know.
I think that's exactly what's happening.
I think that's what's going to happen in the end, but I don't think that's his plan at the moment.
Oh, I think that's his plan now.
I think
Rumple is all about a longer con than just on the whim making a decision.
Rumple's all about whatever benefits him the most. Right now, his mom, his family benefits him the most.
He's still pissed off. He doesn't. I don't care what she did in the past. It's not going to change what she did, and he knows that.
As soon as he got the opportunity to work with his mom, he knew how to backstab her, and that's what he's working on right now. That's why he's playing her and also playing everybody else, because what he's doing right now is the best idea for him. Not to help his mom.
Belle and Gideon. That's all he cares about. Himself, Belle, and Gideon. He's fucking gonna backstab his mom. He's gonna be the one that is her downfall.
I agree that he's going to backstab her, but I don't think that is his plan right now.
Oh, I do.
And takes whatever opportunity comes to him. And if opportunity comes to backstab his mom, he will do it. I don't think the opportunity is right now. I think this is his plan. His plan is to get good with his mom, and then
he always likes to be the most powerful one too. And his mom is definitely on a higher tier than him, and he doesn't want that. He wants to be on top.
Yeah, well, because it's been prophesized now that Emma is gonna die in the final battle. Right, that's the current prophecy. The only thing that could interfere with that is someone with no fate, and that would be Rumple. His fate's already been cut, so he can interfere and change fate. So it's got to be him to defeat her. There's no other way.
And I think he knows that.
So
Because he's as much as we hate him, he's one of the smartest people on.
Well,
As
I
far
argue
as
I argue that he's not.
He's conning his mom. He's conning her. He's not taking her.
con artists are some of the most intelligent people in the world, and that's exactly what Rumple is.
So all I'm gonna say is, in the
He's not
end,
going to take her apology. He's not going to take just her telling him the story. And, oh, gee, forgive me. He's not going to be like, bitch, please. You did. I mean, I lived my whole life and nothing. You know what I mean? And he, even when he summoned her, when he was the Dark One, she laughed in his fucking face.
yeah. Lewis in chat is saying Rumple's so selfish and he should care about Henry. It's not that he doesn't care about Henry.
Nobody
It's
cares
just
about
he's
Henry.
dealing
That's
with other problems at the time. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate with his own son to worry about. Henry's not in any immediate danger.
No.
So
There's that whole author thing that we're still up in the air about. Like, what happens when the final chapter is completed? What happens to Henry? Does he just keep writing more books, or does
You
he
write a new
poof?
one. You're writing a
don't
new
know.
one.
we don't know.
You
We're
write
going
a
to
new
find out.
story. This is how stories work. You're done with the one story, you write another one if you feel like it.
They just make it seem like
Right.
he's in turmoil once the story is over. Like he loses his power, or something happens to him, and he
I don't
loses his
think
mind, or whatever.
I don't think anything is going to happen to him. Henry's going to be fine. They don't really explore this author mythology as much.
Well,
when
they started to, but like they're going to give
They
us a
do, but
conclusion
they
to
didn't-
it.
I hope they do.
Or,
really, the
or maybe
actually-
he gets
Give me so much time.
changed into a whole new person. I know they've been talking about changing the character.
Yeah, age him up a bit.
Yeah,
He gets changed to a whole new person.
he just grows up a little bit and has different
But
facial features.
What this is going to come down to now is with the final battle here
And we have more
is
time
all
jumps
these
and-
people that don't like Rumple, you know, like Danielle in chat, for example. And I'm sorry, Danielle, to single you out. You're just the most vocal Rumple hater that we have in the chat. Like, it's going to come down to Rumple is the one that saves Hook and Swan and all the characters that you love in the end. And at that point, how can you continue to hate him?
I'm still going
just
to.
saying.
You can't tell me what to do.
You don't touch my
Because
Captain
he's
Swan.
the only
Rumples,
one
get
that's
the
going
fuck
to be
away.
able to stop the prophecy. If it's not for Rumple, Emma is going to die. And that means no Captain Swan. So, but with that, we did have Operation Best Man this episode.
That was adorable.
No, but the fucking operation names. This was adorable, but I fucking hate these operation names. Okay? You're not fucking 11 years old anymore. Shut the fuck up.
Right? I do love it. And he's like,
He
yeah,
didn't
you
name
can-
it that. That was Hook.
That was all Hook. I think
I
he's
know.
grown out of the operations. It's all the adults around
I
him.
Yeah.
that are,
know, don't
like,
bring it
catering.
back. I thought we
Everybody
were
else
done.
is clinging to his childhood, calling Operation this, Operation that. The only one he came up with was
the first
Operation Cobra. It was
Operation
Emma
Cobra,
that came up
Operation
with...
Scorpion, Operation Praying Mantis, Operation Mongoose, Operation
Mongoose
Mixtape.
was Emma.
They kept...
Mongoose was Emma.
No,
It's
that
only
was
because he
Regina.
asked.
Or Regina.
Regina.
Scorpion or something was Emma. Emma came up with one of them. Regina came up with one. We have Hook coming up with one. I forget. Somebody else named one of the fourth one. To my knowledge, I could be
Operation
remembering it
Firebird.
wrong. Firebird, I think, was Henry. So Henry's only named like one or two. So it's not really
Okay,
him
no.
continuing this tradition.
No, okay. Henry did. He named out. He was Operation Cobra. Then he did name Operation Scorpion. That was like a one-off thing. Operation Praying Mantis, Operation Firebird, Operation Mixtape. They kept getting worse and worse with each one. And Henry, I'm glad you stopped. But now you've influenced other people to do it, and they're not good at it.
I don't
You
think
weren't
he.
good
I
at
don't
it.
think he called it Operation Mixtape. I thought somebody else did.
No, he did. It was not. That was lame. It had nothing to do with the episode.
But, you know,
Had a lot
it
to
was
do with
just-
Violet.
Yeah, it did. But I just thought it was so cute that because it's like, here, you gotta keep these. If you lose them, your mom's gonna kill you. She's like,
I
what?
wonder what's
What am I
going
gonna
to
do?
happen to them.
What's gonna happen to what?
She's like, what am I gonna do? Nothing. just some man talk.
Man, yeah.
I like how Hook's a
It's-
traditionalist, where he's like, I can't see the bride the night before the wedding.
Well,
so
he's 300 years old.
I know.
And she's like, oh, that's super. He's like, he's like, I'm a pirate, basically.
I'm a pirate.
We believe in superstition. It was so adorable, and the look he gives, I was just like, ah.
Yeah. I
Of course,
mean,
he's a gorgeous.
I've
anyways.
never really been a Captain Swan shipper, but this particular episode made it a little bit more valid for me.
Yeah.
It was always valid for me, even
It was all.
even before Hook was on the show. Because before Hook was on the show, we had Neil, and I didn't care about Neil. So
I didn't. Okay, see, Jake and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
I didn't like Neil either.
I didn't like him.
I didn't mind him.
Well, I liked his character. I didn't like them together.
yeah, exactly. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But Captain Swan forever, and they're going to get married and have all the babies, and we're finally going to get used out of that crib that Emma never used.
Hey, and like I mentioned last week, something had to go down with the Black Fairy for them to think she was defeated this episode, because otherwise the wedding wouldn't continue after the big deal that Charming made out of everything, and everybody agreed to it. That's exactly what's going down now, is everybody thinks the Black Fairy was defeated. Time for the wedding, and they're preparing for the final battle, so unfortunately, it's going to look like they're going to crash it. So
After crash it like during the reception at Granny's, because that's
because we that needs to happen, because it's this show.
It's gonna be the cliche moment of if anybody has any problems, speak up now or forever hold your peace. It's gonna be right at that cliche
And
moment.
you need to prepare that speech when you barge in, but it has to sound not rehearsed, like you were practicing in the bathroom.
What if? Because I've seen previews of the musical, and I'm not I'm not impressed with what I've seen so far in the previews. What if this whole they don't know the Black Fairy's gone, but what if the Black Fairy sprinkle a little bit of her Black Fairy dust and made it a terrible musical?
No, that's not what this is. It's like a legit musical that's supposed to be good. See, the plot of the episode is that once upon a time, Snow made a wish on a star that something. I wish for Emma to have a happy ending, something along those lines, and apparently that manifests itself into a musical, in both past and present time.
Okay, let's read the synopsis.
I'm going to read the synopsis, but I just want to comment really quick because I just had a good laugh. Alex in chat says, "Oh my god, Nikki is so nice today." So Nikki is giving Emma compliments and loving Captain Swan. I love it. So. And
I also stood up for Rumple.
You did.
A little bit.
You did. Must mean it's a full moon out tonight, guys.
Luckily, I'm still in character. Lucky Rumple, Captain Swan have all the babies. Where's Ruby and Mulan?
I mean, I still feel the same way about the characters. It's just, things have it goes episode by episode, really.
Yeah. So next episode, obviously, is called The Song in Your Heart. In flashback, Snow and Charming make a special wish that Emma will be protected. The result of their wish has the whole kingdom bursting into song, which infuriates the evil queen. Meanwhile, in Storybrooke, the Black Fairy announces her plan to unleash another curse on the town, while Emma and Hook prepare for their wedding.
So my first prediction is, just like in every other Disney movie where the villain song happens to be the best song out of the whole show, because the evil queen's going to have the best song.
Yeah.
Because that's how it usually always works.
Hope. So Lana Parrilla, who plays Regina, said that her song is like a David Bowie type song.
Oh god, I'm gonna hate it.
So
Nikki hates David Bowie.
I don't know how I feel about this. I love David Bowie, but I don't know if this is a good idea.
I like David Bowie too.
I appreciate David Bowie and his talent and the person he is and was and what he did in his lifetime, but his voice when he sings gives me chills. And
it's just his face. It's just his face. It's not his voice. His face scares you, Nikki. Admit it.
No.
Admit it.
Well,
Go watch The Labyrinth.
And not David Bowie things to her.
Yeah.
If you guys want to be extra awesome people, look up Lady Venom 24 on Twitter below and just start tweeting her pictures of David Bowie all week long.
No, not pictures.
Especially in Labyrinth.
Don't send her pictures. Just send her the clip from Labyrinth of Dance Magic Dance.
Yeah, just keep sending her pictures, clips, music, songs. Like, send her everything there is to do with David Bowie. Make it last all week. Do it. Make it happen, guys. That's Nikki's reward for being nice this podcast.
Thanks. Just wait until I become the evil queen. You'll be like, you'll know. You know what happens.
It seems to me based. Yes, Pan never fails. It seems to me based on this synopsis, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the musical is going to be contained to the flashbacks.
No.
Okay.
There's B-roll footage of Jennifer Morrison singing in present day.
B-roll footage doesn't mean that it's making the cut.
We don't know.
It could have just been done for fun.
She said that this is a song that's specifically written for her. It's her theme with words to it.
Okay.
It actually sounds pretty nice, actually. I kind of like it. Everything else, all the other snippets of the songs that I've heard, I don't like them. You can find them online. Those little snippets of just...
I don't know. I'm not going to go for the snippets. I'm not going to go off that. I'm going to wait till I hear
There is a full Song of Hooks song, though, online.
Oh, God.
And it's... I need to listen to it again, because I don't know. It's kind of like... It reminds me of the Gaston song.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the episode not knowing any of them, because... What happens with those, especially, is I'll sit there and this happens to me a lot when albums come out, is I'll listen to the tracks that get released before, and then when the album actually comes out, I'm just like, alright, well, I've already heard these songs, I don't like the rest of the album, and I get really disappointed. So I won't listen to any of the songs before actually watching the episode, because I'm already going in expecting it to be terrible. I'm sorry, that's just how I am. I'm not a big...
You expect everything to be terrible.
I'm not a big musical fan. Right, so the only musical, and it wasn't until we just watched Supergirl, I think it was, they had a musical episode. It wasn't until then that I actually realized that The Wizard of Oz was a musical. I'd never thought of The Wizard of Oz as a musical, as many musical numbers as there are in it. Just never clicked that it was a musical, because I watched it a lot as a kid, right? And I haven't seen that movie in at least 15 years, right? So as a kid, you're not consciously aware of what a musical show is and what a musical is not. You just... Because I grew up watching a lot of Disney movies, right? And I just expect musical numbers to be part of the movie. So when I see The Wizard of Oz, I don't think anything different. I don't classify it as a musical. So it wasn't until the Supergirl episode where they classified the movie as a musical, and I sat there and it's not a musical. Oh, it is a musical. Like, it actually clicked for me. So, but when it comes to these TV shows, and I've watched a lot of TV shows that have musical numbers in them, and I've seen probably at least 10. Out of the 10 that I've personally seen, I've only enjoyed one of them, and that was the Psych, the TV show Psych. The musical number, the whole thing on that I thought was fantastic. It really fit the whole show, because the show's a very goofy, over-the-top show. To begin with, it worked out really great for that. I know you guys are going to jump down my throat. I didn't see the Buffy musical episode, so I can't comment on that. I'm sure it was good. I'm not saying it's bad. But out of all the other shows that I've seen, have not liked them, including the most recent...
Homework. You have homework, okay? Homework before you watch the musical episode.
Including the most recent Supergirl Flash crossover. I hated that.
So the Buffy one, the Scrubs one, the Power Rangers one, and all the musical episodes of Bob's Burgers.
And Nikki needs to watch Bob's Burgers. So.
Yes.
I'm just going to say something before I'm pretty sure we're going to wrap up soon. I can kind of agree with Dom. Oh my God, Sky's falling. When it comes to shows, going in with low expectations so that you can be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Well, come on now. Not everything can be the musical sensation as what was that show they did in the early 90s.
I was going to say, because
the cop one. I can't remember. It was a musical, and the whole show was a musical. It was about cops.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not that I dislike musicals, because my cats are just tearing the house apart up there. Apparently, not apparently, but Wizard of Oz, I absolutely love that. I love all the Disney songs, all that. Gallivant just recently is probably the best example of musical television that I can list off.
That one's good too.
Every single song in Gallivant had me laughing at some point or another. Loved that entire series. So
you can typically,
I do enjoy musicals. That's not what it is. It's just the way they get shoehorned when they're not a musical show. It doesn't. Something about it doesn't mesh well. So I'm gonna wait and see, and I will either be pleasantly surprised or sitting there going, I did not like this episode. This is gonna be a big deal for me. So we'll have to see.
No, go watch it's called Cop Rock. It was in the 90s. Go watch that, and then you'll love every musical afterwards, because that was the most horrible show ever.
Yeah. Lewis in chat saying maybe this episode will surprise you. I'm hoping it does, because I love this show, and just one episode is not going to change my opinion of the show. So I just may not like the one episode. That's not a big deal. You can't like every episode.
There are episodes of the show that I hate.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love the show.
So, and Lewis says, what about Glee? I never watched Glee.
Glee is a jukebox musical to show, and it's terrible. I'm kidding. I just don't like it.
Yeah. Even like when I don't want to start going into details of it, but one season of American Horror Story decided to throw in some musical numbers, and I thought they were very forced, and I didn't really like them. So it depends on how it's done. That's going to be my opinion. So I'm not going to say anything to anyone. These three in chat are not going to know my feelings until the podcast is going. I'm not even going to allude to my feelings of this. Nobody's going to know. We're going to keep it a surprise. And when we come into this podcast, everybody's going to find out.
I hate it because you want to hate it.
We'll find out. Maybe
I'll
surprise all of you.
But he's going to love it. And
he's
then
going to say he hates it.
It's going to be one of those guilty pleasure things that nobody gets to know about. It's a secret.
No, if I like something, I'll tell you. If I don't like something, believe me, I will tell you. So either way, you guys are going to find out.
I don't like it, I will have some shit to say if I don't like this episode.
You guys are going to, because, I don't know, even some of the worst things imaginable, like, you can always find, like, Nickelback. There's one Nickelback song that I enjoy.
Look at this photograph?
No. I like the clip, that one clip of the song that's turned into a thing on YouTube. No, it was the Burn It to, I think it's called Burn It to the Ground. But like Justin Bieber, something I never thought I could ever like. There's a mashup of Justin Bieber and Slipknot. And I was like, this is fantastic.
That's not Justin Bieber.
I'm aware, but he's still singing in it. And it's like, this is something I could listen to. I could totally get behind it. So even things you think you can hate, there's a way around it that you can find a way to enjoy it.
Exactly.
So, but do you guys have anything else for this episode or want to babble on about next episode?
No, as far as I'm concerned, next episode is the most important episode ever, not because it's a musical episode, but because, there's a wedding happening, a really important one. You know which one I'm talking about.
Aren't weddings supposed to happen in season 7 though?
No.
Yeah, typically.
It should have happened in season 2.
It should have, could have, would have, but typically in show's history, season 7 is the big wedding series. Like, you go back, Friends, Supernatural, like, you go back, like, all big TV shows, season 7 is the wedding season.
Yeah, but these two actually matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
they're jumping the shark a season early.
No, that's not.
It's pretty close to the end of the season, so it can kind of overlap a little bit.
Which side note, I loved that episode of Happy Days where they literally jumped the shark.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, I know. So on that note, Jake, where can the people find you?
You can find me here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the week, throughout the life at TwoNowhereLand. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhereland Society.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
And Rachel, where can the people find you?
You can find me at VikingWitch76 on Twitter and on Twitch at VikingWitch. And may the 4th be with you a day early.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM, where I will not reveal whether or not I like the musical. Don't bother looking. And you can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies.
And on MySpace.
Until next time. See you guys later.
See, you keep forgetting that one.
But which one?
MySpace?
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
FaceSpace?
The FaceSpace. The twatters. The twerkers.
The twerkers.
And the twerkers, the twatters, and the tweakers, all the things that the kids use.
The snapgrams.
Yeah.
The Instachats.
The Instachats and the
snapgrams.
You crazy kid.
The snapgrams.
It sounds like a cookie.
No, the instant grandmas.
The instant grandmas. That sounds like those. Oh god.
Like you're making a coffee or something. Little package.
Instant grandma. You just pour it in water, and it makes a grandmother for you.
Yeah.
Like those little spongy dinosaurs you used to throw in the bath.
I was gonna see the little brine shrimp you get, the sea creatures.
The sea monkeys.
Yep.
I just love old people trying to speak modern language. Are you doing the pot?
Are you doing the pot?
Did you take a marijuana?